Your fingernails are screaming at you. Most people ignore the desperate signals their nails send every single day. But what I'm about to show you will change how you look at your hands forever. I'm Dr. Vivian Chen, and in my 15 years practicing functional medicine at UCLA Health, I've diagnosed serious organ dysfunction simply by examining nail color patterns that patients thought were normal. Last month, a 58-year-old woman came to my clinic complaining of fatigue. Her family doctor had run basic blood work and found nothing concerning. But the moment she extended her hands during our consultation, I saw a bluish tinge around her nail beds that told me her heart wasn't pumping efficiently. 3 weeks later, her cardiologist confirmed early-stage congestive heart failure. Her nails had been warning her for months. Traditional medicine often misses these connections because we're trained to look at symptoms in isolation. But your nails are connected to 7 critical organ systems in ways that most physicians never learned in medical school. The color changes I'm about to reveal aren't cosmetic issues or signs of aging. They're your body's emergency broadcast system. And right now, millions of people over 50 are walking around with nail discoloration that indicates liver toxicity, kidney dysfunction, lung compromise, thyroid imbalance, iron deficiency, circulation problems, and autoimmune inflammation. What makes this particularly urgent is that these color changes often appear months or even years before conventional blood tests show abnormalities. Your nails are like canaries in the coal mine of your health, and they're trying to save your life. But you have to know how to read their language. The reason most people miss these warning signs is because we've been conditioned to think of nail color as either healthy pink or unhealthy yellow. That's like saying the ocean is either blue or not blue, while ignoring every shade of green, gray, purple, and turquoise that signals different underwater conditions. Your nail matrix, the living tissue beneath your nail fold, receives blood supply from tiny capillaries that reflect the oxygenation status, nutrient levels, and toxin burden of your entire circulatory system. When organs begin to struggle, they alter blood chemistry in specific ways that show up as distinct color patterns in your nail beds. The problem is that these changes happen gradually, so you adapt to them without realizing what's happening. You might notice your nails looking a bit more yellow than usual and think it's from aging or nail polish staining, when in reality, your liver is overwhelmed with toxins and struggling to process them efficiently. Or you might see a grayish tint developing and assume it's just natural color variation, while your kidneys are actually beginning to retain waste products that should be filtered out. The medical community has known about these connections for decades, but this knowledge rarely makes it into routine practice because doctors are rushed, and nail examination has become a lost art. In functional medicine, we understand that your body operates as an interconnected system, not a collection of separate parts. When one organ begins to falter, it sends chemical signals throughout your entire system, and your nails receive these signals in real time. The Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine has published research showing that nail bed color analysis can detect organ dysfunction up to 6 months before standard diagnostic tests show abnormalities. Yet most people remain completely unaware that they're carrying around a diagnostic tool at the tips of their fingers. I've spent over a decade studying these connections, combining my UCLA medical training with advanced certification in functional nutrition and longevity medicine. I've reviewed thousands of cases where nail color changes preceded major health crises, and I've seen how early intervention based on these visual cues can literally add years to someone's life. My approach integrates conventional diagnostic methods with nutritional biochemistry and targeted supplementation protocols that address root causes rather than just managing symptoms. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has published several studies validating the relationship between micronutrient status and nail bed coloration, confirming what functional medicine practitioners have observed clinically for years. What frustrated me early in my practice was watching patients develop serious conditions that could have been prevented if someone had simply taught them to read their nail signals correctly. That's why I've dedicated my career to bridging the gap between cutting-edge functional medicine research and practical health monitoring that anyone can do at home. The techniques I'm about to share with you come directly from the protocols I use with my patients at UCLA Health, adapted for people who want to take control of their health monitoring without waiting for annual checkups or expensive testing. Let me start by revealing the 7 organ systems that communicate directly through your nail color, and then I'll show you exactly what to look for and what each color pattern means for your health. The first organ system is your liver, and this is where most people have their biggest blind spot. A healthy liver processes over 500 different biochemical functions every day, including filtering toxins, producing proteins, and regulating blood sugar. When your liver becomes overwhelmed, whether from alcohol, medications, environmental toxins, or dietary stress, it begins to accumulate bilirubin and other waste products in your bloodstream. This shows up as a yellow or amber tint in your nail beds, particularly noticeable in bright natural light. I had a 62-year-old executive who came to me concerned about persistent fatigue and brain fog. His corporate physical showed normal liver enzymes, but I immediately noticed the subtle yellow cast to his nail beds that indicated liver congestion. Through targeted functional testing, we discovered he had significant environmental toxin burden from years of business travel and poor dietary choices. Within 3 months of implementing a liver support protocol, including milk thistle, N-acetylcysteine, and specific detoxification nutrients, his nail color returned to healthy pink, and his energy levels completely transformed. The second critical organ system is your kidneys, which filter approximately 50 gallons of blood every single day. When kidney function begins to decline, waste products like urea and creatinine start accumulating in your bloodstream, creating a grayish or brownish discoloration in your nail beds. This is often accompanied by subtle swelling in your fingers that makes your rings feel tighter. Kidney dysfunction is particularly common in people over 50 due to years of dehydration, high sodium intake, and medication use, but it's often not detected until function has declined by more than 60%. The third organ system that speaks through your nails is your heart and circulatory system. Poor circulation creates a bluish or purple tint around your nail beds, especially noticeable when you press on your nail and watch how quickly the pink color returns. Healthy circulation should restore color within 2 seconds, but if it takes longer, or if you notice a persistent blue tinge, your heart may not be pumping efficiently, or your blood vessels may be compromised. This is particularly important for people with diabetes, high blood pressure, or family history of cardiovascular disease. Your thyroid, the fourth organ system, controls metabolism throughout your entire body. And thyroid dysfunction shows up as either very pale, almost white nail beds in cases of hypothyroidism, or unusually red, flushed nail beds in cases of hyperthyroidism. I see this constantly in my practice, especially in women over 45 who have been told their fatigue and weight gain are just normal aging, when they actually have undiagnosed thyroid imbalance. The fifth organ system is your lungs and respiratory function, which affects the oxygenation of your blood and therefore the color saturation of your nail beds. Poor lung function creates a dusky, grayish appearance that many people mistake for normal aging, when it actually indicates decreased oxygen delivery to your tissues. This is particularly concerning in former smokers or people with chronic respiratory conditions who may not realize their lung function is gradually declining. The sixth system involves your bone marrow and iron status, which directly affects your red blood cell production. Iron deficiency anemia creates characteristic pale, almost translucent nail beds, often accompanied by vertical ridges and spoon-shaped nails called koilonychia. This is incredibly common in postmenopausal women who have had years of menstrual iron loss followed by decreased absorption as they age. The seventh and final organ system is your immune system and inflammatory status, which shows up as various forms of discoloration, including red streaks, dark spots, or an overall inflamed appearance around the nail folds. Autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or inflammatory bowel disease often manifest nail changes before other symptoms become severe. What makes this information so powerful is that you can monitor all 7 organ systems simply by examining your nails in good lighting once a week and tracking any changes over time. This is where technology can really enhance your health monitoring capability. I actually recommend my patients use a comprehensive health tracking app that allows them to photograph their nails weekly and note any color changes alongside other symptoms and biomarkers. The app I personally use and recommend to my patients creates a visual timeline that makes it easy to spot patterns and correlations you might otherwise miss. You can find the details about this tracking system in my pinned comment below, and I'll show you exactly how to set up your own nail monitoring protocol. The key is consistency and good documentation, because these changes often happen gradually over weeks or months. Now, let me give you the specific protocol for reading your nail colors accurately. First, examine your nails in bright natural sunlight if possible, or under a full spectrum LED light. Fluorescent lighting can distort colors and make accurate assessment difficult. Remove any nail polish and clean your nails thoroughly, because residue can mask subtle color changes. Look specifically at the nail bed, which is the pink area underneath the nail plate, not the nail itself. Press firmly on each nail bed and release, observing how quickly the pink color returns. In healthy circulation, color should return within 1 to 2 seconds. Delayed return or persistent discoloration indicates circulation issues that need attention. Take note of any color variations between different fingers, because this can indicate localized circulation problems versus systemic issues. Your thumbs and index fingers often show the earliest changes because they have the richest blood supply and are most sensitive to systemic variations. Document what you observe, either through photos or written notes, because memory is unreliable when tracking gradual changes over time. The most important thing is establishing your baseline normal appearance, so you can detect deviations from your personal pattern. Everyone has slight natural variations in nail color based on genetics and skin tone, but significant changes from your baseline always deserve attention. If you notice sudden changes in nail color, especially if accompanied by other symptoms like fatigue, shortness of breath, swelling, or changes in urination, don't wait to seek medical evaluation. Your nails are giving you an early warning system that could prevent serious complications if you act quickly. The scientific evidence supporting nail analysis as a diagnostic tool is extensive and growing. Harvard School of Public Health researchers have documented specific nail color patterns associated with cardiovascular disease, liver dysfunction, and kidney disease in large population studies. The key finding is that nail changes often precede laboratory abnormalities by months, giving you a crucial window for intervention before permanent organ damage occurs. What's particularly exciting about this approach is that it empowers you to take an active role in monitoring your health, rather than passively waiting for annual checkups or symptoms to become severe. I've seen countless patients catch serious conditions early simply because they learned to pay attention to their nail signals and seek appropriate testing when changes occurred. One of my most memorable cases involved a 54-year-old teacher who noticed her nail beds becoming increasingly yellow over several weeks. Her family physician dismissed this as cosmetic, but she insisted on comprehensive liver function testing based on what she'd learned about nail color signals. The tests revealed early-stage fatty liver disease that responded beautifully to dietary intervention and targeted supplementation. 6 months later, her liver function had completely normalized, and her nail color had returned to healthy pink. Without that early detection, she likely would have progressed to more serious liver damage that could have required medication or even surgical intervention. This is the power of understanding your body's communication system and taking action when you receive warning signals. Beyond monitoring for disease, nail color analysis can also guide your nutritional optimization and longevity protocols. For example, if you notice your nails becoming paler despite normal iron levels on blood tests, it might indicate poor iron absorption that could be improved with vitamin C supplementation or addressing underlying gut inflammation. If you see subtle yellowing that comes and goes, it might indicate your liver needs additional support during periods of higher toxin exposure or stress. This kind of real-time feedback allows you to adjust your diet, supplements, and lifestyle choices based on what your body actually needs, rather than following generic recommendations. The goal isn't just preventing disease, but optimizing function and maintaining vitality as you age. Your nails can tell you whether your current health protocol is working or needs adjustment long before you'd see changes in blood work or how you feel day to day. This is particularly valuable for people interested in longevity and anti-aging because it allows you to fine-tune your approach based on objective feedback from your body's monitoring systems. Let me share 3 additional techniques that will maximize your nail monitoring effectiveness. First, photograph your nails once a week using the same lighting conditions and camera settings to create a visual timeline of changes. This eliminates the subjectivity of memory and allows you to track subtle variations that might otherwise be missed. Many of my patients are surprised when they review their nail photos and see changes that seem to happen overnight, but actually developed gradually over weeks. Second, correlate your nail observations with other health metrics like energy levels, sleep quality, digestive function, and exercise performance. Patterns often emerge that reveal connections between your nail signals and how you feel overall. Third, share your observations with healthcare providers who understand functional medicine principles. Not all doctors are trained in nail analysis, but those who practice integrative or functional medicine will appreciate this additional diagnostic information and can help you interpret findings in the context of your complete health picture. The most important thing to remember is that nail color changes are rarely isolated findings. They're usually part of a larger pattern that includes other subtle symptoms you might have been ignoring or attributing to normal aging. Fatigue, brain fog, digestive issues, sleep problems, joint stiffness, and mood changes often accompany the organ dysfunction that shows up in your nails. By paying attention to these connections, you develop a much more sophisticated understanding of your health status and can address problems at their root cause rather than just managing symptoms. This is the essence of functional medicine and why nail monitoring is such a valuable tool for anyone committed to maintaining optimal health as they age. Your body is constantly communicating with you through multiple channels, and your nails are one of the most reliable and accessible sources of information about your internal environment. If this information has opened your eyes to a new way of monitoring your health, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more science-backed insights into functional medicine and longevity protocols. Every week, I share practical techniques you can use to optimize your health span and catch problems before they become serious conditions. The nail monitoring protocol I've outlined today is just one example of how you can leverage your body's natural feedback systems to stay ahead of health challenges and maintain vitality throughout your later decades. Remember to check the pinned comment below for information about the health tracking app I mentioned, which can help you implement these monitoring techniques systematically and consistently. Your nails are talking to you right now about the state of your 7 most critical organ systems. The question is, are you ready to listen to what they're trying to tell you about your health and longevity? Start paying attention today, and your future self will thank you for catching problems early when they're still easily reversible, rather than waiting until they require major medical intervention.